All right, hello everyone. Welcome to this weekend market reviews. We are going to be looking into what happened last week in order to take our positions for this upcoming trading week. Last week was a bit of a more confusional trading week and a bit of a sad one because we actually saw real-time money. We were actually in money until Trump halted the funding to the WHO, which in fact turned the market upside down and made it more of a sideways price action. Well, we believe that the future holds more better trading opportunities than it is today, and so all you have to do is to be patient as the good times are just ahead, and hopefully we will begin to find those valid trading opportunities as the coronavirus impact begin to slide down. All right, now before we look into the charts, let's look into the Forex factory economical calendar to see those high impact news announcements that are scheduled for this upcoming trading week. Okay, as you can see right here, we have quite a few high impact news announcements, majority of which are coming from the Euro axis. Okay, from the Euro axis right there. So you need to be extremely careful trading all of these are high impact news announcements that are scheduled for this upcoming trading week. No need to waste time here. This weekend market analysis should be pretty straight to the point. Okay, no need to waste your time. All right, let's look into the charts and see just a few pairs. Okay, just a few pairs. Begin with the American dollar against the Swiss franc. This is the weekly time frame. And the weekly time frame, at the end of every week we should look into the weekly time frame, just like at the end of every day you want to look into the daily time frame, and that is how it applies across all time frames. At the end of every hour you want to look into the hourly time frame. So this is the end of the week. We have to look into the weekly time frame. What has been going on? Has anything differently happened? Well, as you can see, for the past few weeks price has remained stagnant within one location, sideways price bias. In fact, it seems to be compressing. Okay, it seems to be compressing, possibly for an explosion either to the upside or to the downside. Now in this type of market congestion, this sideways price action, it is extremely difficult to trade profitably. All right, you want price to take to a direction, then you can trade along, piggyback those pullbacks and make your money alongside. So for the American dollar against the Swiss franc, it is obvious that price has been pushing to the downside. All right, of course we expect to see more pushes to the downside, even though we got that volatility in the daily time frame. Well, what is happening here is very similar to what has happened in the euro against the American dollar. Well, in the euro against the American dollar, remember in the last weekend market analysis we talked about a certain trend line. I will come to it, but it is similar to what you are seeing here in the American dollar against the Swiss franc. A certain trend line wasn't really a strong one because there was actually no trend. All right, that was the first swing. This latest swing here didn't take out the previous swing high, so there was no trend, and so that trend line was quite a weak one. All right, a very weak one. Well, but what we are seeing here now is that it seems price broke that line, went back up, and it is finding difficulty pushing through the breakout point. All right, that point right there, and the result here should be that price should come back down. Well, if it does, then we will begin to have a new trend starting from here. That is the swing, swing up, then swing down, swing up again, another swing down. But this is not confirmed. Okay, it is really not confirmed. Where price is now is an extremely difficult area to tell where the direction will be, whether it is to the upside or to the downside. But explaining this chart exactly what we are seeing, based on what we are seeing exactly, the next direction should be to the downside. All right, but of course it is an extremely weak setup. It is not a high quality setup, but if I must trade the American dollar against the Swiss franc, I will be hitting on my sell button only in this way. All right, let's see the Forex time frame. Forex time frame, we had an expanding triangle. We had already shared this with some members. I saw that sharing there. That's the upper boundary as resistance, and this was the lower boundary as support. Okay, in fact, we got our entry for last week somewhere around in here. That was where we found was it around here? No, I think somewhere around in here. Our entry was here. We were in nice profit all the way to this area. That was where we had our profit. We're actually targeting this level right here. Then suddenly, Trump halted the funding of the World Health Organization against the coronavirus, and you can see the spike to the upside. We had already trailed our stop loss to break even position, and it got kicked out. All right, got kicked out. No problems. It is just a part of the game. Lessons learned, and we believe that we will improve in future. Okay, so now will this expanding triangle hold true? If it will, then we expect to see price come down all the way to the lower boundary of this expanding triangle. In the 1 hour time frame, you could see that rising trend line, all right, this rising trend line, the 1 hour time frame, has already given way. You can see I got the breakout. Now this is the pullback. We expect price to keep pushing down. Well, let's see as the market opens. So ultimately, in the American dollar against the Swiss franc, the technical picture is that price should be pushing to the downside. All right, the sterling pounds against the Canadian dollar. This is another one, quite a difficult one for us. You can see how price has been sideways for so many weeks. Our analysis in the previous weeks had shown that price should be pushing to the downside, but the hesitation is just too much. For 3 weeks, price has been doing nothing. Our direction is still intact. We still believe that price should come down in the sterling pounds against the Canadian dollar. Let's see the daily time frame. In the daily time frame, well, this is also another weak trend line, but then we are just keeping it because price tends to be respecting that particular level, so we are going to keep it. For now, there is nothing to trade here in the daily time frame, and the directional bias is not really clear, and so you want to be a bit patient with this to see if we can find a clear directional bias. By the way, we'll be following this in the 1 hour time frame. This is our key level of support. In the 1 hour time frame of the sterling pounds against the Canadian dollar, we will want to see price break freely from this level of support. Then if we have a pullback that soon, we'll be looking for our short entries. That is what we want to see. Well, hopefully we're going to find the entry. Next is the American dollar against the Japanese yen in the weekly time frame. Quite a difficult market condition, more of an expanding triangle, and our position here is that price will also keep pushing to the downside. We expect to see a weaker American dollar going forward based on the technical picture that we have. In the daily time frame, well, this is what we are following, even though there is no very good level of daily support and resistance aside from this here and this one, which are still very far. This is what we are following here, this congestion, this sort of flat bottom triangle. We would like to see price breaking free this key level of support. All right, then any pullback, we'll be looking for short entries in the American dollar against Japanese yen. If price breaks to the upside, I'm sorry, we will not be interested in any trade. Our trade plan is to wait for this level to be taken out, then a pullback. We'll be looking for our valid entry. Okay. And finally, euro against the American dollar, just like the American dollar against the Swiss franc. Well, you can also see that much hesitation several weeks as the coronavirus continued to impact the world globally. Price has been very sideways. Well, our bias here is that price should make a U-turn to the upside. In the daily time frame, remember last week we talked about this this trend line has not been a very strong trend line for us. All right, like I said, in the American dollar against the Swiss franc, it seems price has now made a weak breakout, a pullback, and we expect to see a push to the upside. So this trend line, which once acted as resistance there, resistance here as well, is now acting as support. All right, so that is what this is the worst case scenario that we are seeing in the euro against the American dollar. And so with this bounce right here, we expect to see further pushes to the upside in the euro against the American dollar. Hopefully we are going to see that. Our directional bias here remains to the upside. Just like the American dollar against the Swiss franc in the Forex time frame, you can see that expanding triangle. Okay, a sign of market confusion. And so if this low here holds true, we expect to see price push all the way to the upper boundary, which has been acting as resistance, and the lower boundary here has been acting as support. So here we are not interested in short entries, even though it is a bit weak right here. Let me just show you again. See how the trend has been going, push up, push down, push up. All right, it came down here and formed a double bottom. I just want you to understand this. The double bottom there, that is a sign of failure, that it couldn't take out that previous swing low. Then this was neckline. Okay, so price has been struggling to push above to find its way above that neckline. Once we get that breakout, then we are hopeful that price is going to push further to the upside in the euro against the American dollar. So let's wait and see as the market is going to open. Then we will see where we can trade. But for now, it is advisable to stay with the buyers, all right, with the bulls. Well, quite a difficult market confusion across all the many pairs. You can see the American dollar against the Canadian dollar, the weekly time frame. Obviously, price has been in congestion for about 4 to 5 weeks. A difficult market condition there. Euro against the Canadian dollar, not different. You can see the congestion. If you keep going on and on, sterling pounds against the Australian dollar, see the congestion there. Difficult. New Zealand dollar against the Canadian dollar, a very choppy market, extremely difficult to sustain your profit. Euro against the Japanese yen, similar price behavior, very difficult to sustain your profit, not having a clear headway, clear directional bias. Swiss franc against the Japanese yen, similar price behavior, heavy congestion during this coronavirus times. Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc, again, you can see that. All right, so I just want to show you what's been going on, especially in the long term. Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen, similar price behavior. These are extremely market condition. All right, you can see them. Really hard type of price behavior to trade in. Okay, all right, folks, so that's basically it. You need to be really patient with price at this time while we continue to do our best to find profitable trading opportunities. I am sure we'll find them coming soon. Okay, all right, relax your nerves. If you have questions or contributions, send them across to us and we'll be very happy to respond to them. Just be patient, relax. You will begin to see the monies coming as we send the signals to you in the VIP channel. Talk to you again within the week. You have a nice time. Bye bye.